Rover comes in full Umbra, heavy attack, devastation into dark surge mode activated. First full combo with 5 enhanced basics, 4 dodging, the last hit to animation cancel, and second full basics combo using resonance skills to extend Umbra and animation cancel this time into the third full combo, resonance liberation cancel into a heavy attack, single hit, echo summon, and animation cancel with the outro into dungeon. Perfect execution. Hey everyone, TimaeuSS here and welcome to another Wuthering Waves video. So what you just saw was the perfect combo rotation coming out from the CM Bros for the Havoc MC. And that's right, in this video we'll cover the full combo guide for both the CN as well as the global rotations in slow motion. And also in this video we'll go over the echo builds, the weapon choices, as well as the best teammates for the Havoc MC. Now you might ask, why Havoc MC? Well, everyone gets a copy, that's right, and also everyone will get free dupes of the Havoc MC as you progress through the main story. So you can see currently on the global Pride 1 tier list, Havoc MC is already currently sitting on the tier 1 side of the main DPS section, and for the CN tier list, tier 2. However, both the authors of the global as well as the CN tier list have said that they are going to move the Havoc MC up a tier at least, because later on, as we do more testing, we find out better rotation for the Havoc MC. He actually, or she depending on choices, actually does a ton of damage, and even better as you get more dupes as you progress through the main story. So definitely a worthwhile investment into a character that is going to be with you for a very long time. And just a calculation on what you can expect out of the max duped out Havoc MC, the damage, as they've said over on CN, is going to be comparable to a max duped out Denjing, which is absolutely crazy. So let's just get started. Now first things first, in order to access the Havoc version of the main character, you have to complete chapter 6 of the main quest line, and once that's done, you'll have the ability to switch between Spectral or the Havoc version of the main character via the resonance conversion page. Okay, it's just this little button right here, and once finished, I highly suggest you to go to the bottom right corner right here and use the tutorial mode to learn more about the Havoc Rover before you start learning the combos. Now, I won't spend too much time on the basics because, like I've said, the character tutorial in the game covers it very well, but there are a couple of things I definitely want to summarize and point out here, and the first being the Dark Surge state. Now, this is the most important aspect of the Havoc MC, because most of the time when the Havoc MC is on the field, you want to be in this mode, okay, and you activate it by using a heavy attack while the Umbra gauge at the bottom is full. So once that's full, you heavy attack and you'll gain the wing animation, and that's how you know you activate the Dark Urge state. And under the Dark Urge state, your attacks will be enhanced and doing extra damage. You can see even the animation will change. You have your heavy attack under the Dark Surge state and your 5 basic attack combinations during the Dark Surge state as well. And if you use your resonance skill by pressing E, you can extend your active Dark Surge state because it fills up your Umbra gauge. Now you can see once the Umbra gauge in the Dark Surge state reaches 0, then you will turn into your normal form. And this is quite important because once you're in normal form, you definitely want to get that Umbra gauge filled up as soon as possible. And you'll see that in the rotation later on, there's going to be a Warmup combo, which essentially involves you using E to fill up the gauge by 40 because every resonance skill is about 40 gained. And then after that you swap out, and when you come back in for the second time around, your intro gives you about 30, and then your resonance skill E gives you another 40. So 40, 30, 40, you're over 100. You heavy attack into the Dark Surge state and you combo away with your E being reset for the rotation because the Wave Band 2 skill. So starting us off is the warm-up combo, as they call it over in CM, but it's actually the same opener combo they use in global. So this is the bread and butter and what you will use on your Havoc Rover outside of the main rotation. And it's a good one because it allows you to practice animation cancel as well. So I'll show you a couple of variations. The first one's very easy. You see the enemy, you press your R, which is your Liberation Resonance, and you press your E, and then you press your Q, which is the Dreamless Summon, and that's it. Okay, it's very simple. You can see that the gauge, Umbra gauge at the bottom is between the 3 zeros, so it's about 40% of the Umbra gauge filled. Okay, I'm going to show you the second variation, and we do this one as the warm-up one because, you know, at the beginning of the tower you have your Resonance Liberation available, but sometimes in mid-combat you need to warm up your Havoc MC to gain that 40% of the Umbra gauge, but you are not ready to use the ult just yet because the second time around it might not come up. So you want to be safe, and you don't use the R, and it's just an EQ combo, so you can do that as well. You basically E into your Q. Very straightforward, but this time after this you can see that Umbra Gauge is the exact same, and we'll do something different. We're going to animation cancel this time, and it's going to take some practice, but it's very good and very important in all of the Wuthering Waves rotations if you plan to shave some time for some extra DPS. So you start your challenge, and then instead of waiting for the full animation of the E and the Q, as soon as the E comes out, you use your echo to cancel the Q, and as soon as the echo comes out, instead of letting it take control of your Rover, you swap out to your number 2. In our case, it's going to be a Jiangxing, and then you will be able to use Jiangxing skill. So here we go. So E, animation cancel, and 2. You can see that the Dreamless is still doing work in the background, where I have already swapped control, and you can see that the Rover has the exact same Umbra gain, which is important in this case. And now, because we had animation cancel, we let Jiangxing come in. Jiangxing can actually deal some serious work and put in some serious damage. So EQ, Jiangxing swap, and ult. Look, as I'm ulting, the Dreamless is doing damage in the background, and this allows me to swap into Jiangxing, AoE control, do my combos, and deal some serious damage to get ready for the Rover to swap in. Now, equipped with all of these new knowledge, let's take a look at the CN combo, the bread and butter combo after the Dark Surge stage. So you're going to come in with your intro, you can gain enough after you use your E, and that allows you to basically go into the heavy attack devastation. You gain your wings, you're in the Dark Surge state. So now you do your 5 basic enhanced attack combo and look for the Scythe last hit, okay? Don't worry about the animation cancel, but that's when the CM pros are going to animation cancel. And the second time they do this Scythe rotation, they're going to press E at the last hit to animation cancel the last one. And now after the damage is done, we are going to do the third rotation of the enhanced basics. So 3 rotations of spamming left click 5 times, and then you have the opportunity to use your Resonance Liberation, which is your ultimate, and that buffs your Dreamless Echo Summon. So here comes the ult, and you summon with the Q, and here they actually sneak in a heavy attack into a basic before they summon the echo into an animation cancel into dungeon. So practice makes perfect, and now you should be able to replicate this as well. And last but certainly not least, this a new burst window rotation coming out from the Prideful website is absolutely insane. This was done by Zajeev77, who is another content creator, and this is truly unique in the sense that there is no basic enhanced attack used at all. You essentially go into your intro, resonance skill, heavy attack, devastation, ultimate, and basically do all your rotation without the enhanced basics. And this way, it's a 4 to 5 second burst window with a higher DPS than the normal bread and butter rotation. However, it's lower damage output but less field time required. So let's take a look in slow motion. So we are going to intro with our Havoc Rover, use E to max out our Umbra, and then we are going to use the heavy attack and devastation to trigger our Dark Surge mode, and then open with the Resonance Liberation right after into the reset cooldown E. You can see here the animation, it's played out, and we swap into the Dreamless Echo, and then animation cancel that into Yang Yang, and then we can use the full rotation after that. So basically this is a really fast 4 to 5 second burst win and dealing a massive amount of damage and no enhanced basics required. Very easy to master, but very useful. Wow, that was a lot of information. Hopefully you find the playstyle best suits you, because later on as you climb higher into the tower and the more difficult it gets, you're going to be focused on dodging as well, so you're not going to have the opportunity to always have the best DPS rotation every single time. So yes, practice makes perfect. So let's take a look at the builds coming out from the CM Bros. Now for the weapons, the standard 5-star weapons are actually pretty good for the Havoc Rover. At level 45 you get a selector, so you can use it to pick up the 5-star sword, and of course you can also get the battle pass sword, that's decent as well. Now in terms of the echo choices, okay, I think there honestly aren't a lot of variation here. The best is honestly Dreamless. If you take a look at the Dreamless effect, transforms and performs 6 consecutive attacks and deals havoc damage, and the last attack deals additional damage, and also it's going to be increased by 50% during the 5 seconds after the Rover Havoc casts Resonance Liberation. So it's basically a built-in buff by the Havoc Rover, which means that in the rotation we saw, in the perfect rotation, this is the reason why you save your ult towards the end, because as long as you ult then and within the 5-second window uses the echo, you will be able to get this 50% boost. And of course you want 5 sets of the sun sinking clips. This gives you a Havoc damage boost up to 4 times, so 4 times 7.5 is not bad at all. In terms of stats, for the cost 4s, you want to look for either crit rate, crit damage, and then for the cost 3s, you want to look for Havoc damage, and then for the cost 1s, you want to look for the attack. And then for the substats, what's most important is going to be crits, and then over attack, over heavy attacks, or basic attacks, depending on what your rotation mainly is going to be, and then into your resonance liberation. And for the teams, they have listed, as you could see from the CN side, Danjin, because Danjin wants to be on the field for a very long time. And of course Havoc MC, if you use the short burst window, if you use the burst window rotation, you'll be in and out very quick, and then Danjin can take over and do her thing. And as for the support, there's only 2 in-game at the moment, Baizi and Verna, with potentially Jiang Xing to use as a support slot. Well, here we are, the guide is finally finished, and oh my goodness, this was quite a long one. And let me know if you like this sort of a video, and of course I'll be making one for every single character and comparing, contrasting the global rotations as well as the scene rotations along with their builds. And right off the top of my head, I think a full rotation from the Danjin Havoc MC by Z team might be of interest. Let me know down in the comments, and please do subscribe and show some support so that I will bring you more global and CN content for Wuthering Waves. Thank you guys, and it's TimaeuSS here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye now.